Peace, family. It's Phoenix Bars, the paradigm killer, once again. And this is the Gummy Bear Freestyle, part 2. So, I'm trying to get through as much of this as I can and try to touch on as much as I can at the same time. I already pretty much went over episodes 1 and 2 in video 1. Where I got caught up is episode 3. So episode 3 is called Gummi Makes It Hot. And it's a reference because he's a magician, and to save their life, he has to use his magic to catch a rickety bridge on fire so the ogres that are pursuing them can't get them. They have a problem with their water. Gruffy thinks it can be fixed with hard work and doing everything the old-fashioned common sense way. So he stays behind and is digging and trying to find out what's blocking the water. The rest of them go on an adventure, just to see, let's just go see if we can find out. Let's go where the waters come from and find out what's going on. So they start heading to where the water source comes from, and they find out that Dookie and his ogres have blocked off the water because they making some kind of project. I'm not going to get into all of the all of the weapons of mass destruction that are either that when the gummy bears are trying to use them, they're always trying to use them for good, and no matter what the machine is, it has a good and a evil. Dookie always wants to use it as a weapon. The gummy bears always use it for a common use. This could be anything. Say that. So, peeping the psychological warfare in this episode, Gummi has a fear of heights. So when they're going to where when they're going to the station, the basically it's like a pump station, and they're talking about all kind of infrastructure. They're talking about all kind of hidden infrastructure. And I think pretty much that's where the elites got that idea from. Most likely they have taken over our ancient infrastructure. But that's where they got the idea to continue their own, the underground base, the underground bases and all of that. If people don't know about that shit's real. We're going to get there. Underground bases and all kind of military fuckery. But so they're going to a pump station, and Gummi's so scared that he has to get on Cabin's back to make it across both times. And what I'm saying is, most cartoons, they always have the heroes, especially the main hero of that episode, has to face their fear. And what I'm saying is, that's why I deem this episode 3 as questionable for psychological warfare. Some are more, some are not, some are more so, whatever. But this is definitely one. And episode 6 is also one. I'm going to try to hurry up and get there. Okay. So that's what happens that's what I pretty much can glean from episode 3. It's a little bit of, and the catch to this episode is that the reason they need water is so they can make gummy berry juice. So they're down to their last 4 bottles of gummy bear juice when they attempt to find out what is blocking the water. So that's key, and we can get into that a little bit later. Episode 4, someday my prince will come. Like, print. And I'm going to try to speed through. I'm going to try to really speed through because I want to get to a certain episode and end it on this episode. So, in this one, it's the first, I'm going to say, it's my first, it's the first chance I personally got to see a false flag event. They show you how, through technology, they make it look like a dragon is walking. It works so much that they actually attract the last dragon. So in using this technology, and that's what's key. That is key, and that's what thing that a lot of these pill, whatever you want to call them. This is the thing. A lot of people who misuse technology don't think. In them simulating the footprints of a dragon, they got a real live dragon. They summoned, if you will, through the prince of a dragon, they summoned an actual dragon. So that's deep as fuck if y'all catching it. If y'all hearing me out there. So pretty much, and we can leave it at that. We can leave that episode at that. And episode 5 is, can I keep them? Can I keep them? It's an excellent episode, so I'm gonna go through it fast. Cubby is getting on all the adults in the house's nerves. He's running around. He wants to be a knight. He's running around, swinging on shit, fighting shit, running around, driving him crazy. So everybody's telling him. Really, actually, the two younger ones both are getting on everybody's nerves. Sonny's running around, doing the same thing, running around singing and trying to talk to people, and they're trying to, pay their mortgage. They're in paying their mortgage zone, so they're not trying to hear it. And that's a theme that I want people to peep. And that's one of the things I stand on the most. And a lot of things I speak on, it's an overlapping pattern of how issues will not happen, issues will be quickly worked out, movies can be cut in half if people shut up and listen to each other. Shut up and listen to each other. It's just a pattern of people being so focused on societal things to deal with what should be really important to them. I'll say that. So Zummy gives him which he doesn't know at the time, which he should know, because everything gummies have laying around is magical or has some importance. And that's what that's what I'll say to black people. Everything that is even a semi-attributed to us, and a lot of things that will never, they never want us to know that we are attributed to. It's always beneficial for you. I would say that. All right, so he gets this whistle, which is a magic whistle. So him and Sonny go outside. They're playing around. Long story short, the whistle summons a flying sea monster, not a dragon, but a different kind of a beast. A flying sea monster is controlled by a whistle, and it shows you tones and harmonics, how they're important, and we need to look into that. Another thing we're going to be getting into down the road. The harmonic sequence, all of that. We're going to talk about how Pythagoras and fucking Pythagoras and the Pythagoreans, how they went ape shit and all of that. So I'm jumping ahead. We getting there though. All right. So long story about that joint. They get into it with Dookie. They outsmart him. They work out their petty little issues that they were having with each other, and it was a good episode. And none of the adults knew anything about it. They were questioning at the end of the episode who was, or if they was even going to tell the adults what had happened. Real shit. That's deep. We need to, and that's another thing that's powerful if you think about it. I know we may want eldership. We may want elders in a way, but we might have to do what we have to do and leave the really. All right, this is what it is. We need to do what we need to do, and we need to leave the people who can't understand or don't want to understand or are too slow to understand what's going on out of it. We do what we going to do, and we worry about that later. Now, how I want to end the second part of the Gummy Bear Freestyle is I want to talk about episode 6, A Gummy in a Gilded Cage. Sunny wants to be an artist. She wants to sing. So she's running around making up songs all day. And she's just really happy, and she starts this, and this is another one that I claim is psychological warfare, because at the beginning of the episode she's extremely happy. She's like, I know what I want to do. I want to be a singer, blah 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 blah. Then long story short, she gets kidnapped by some bird like creatures called the Carpies, which I'm gonna go deeper into that later on also. But what I see in this episode is how they already knew what they were going to do with hip hop in 85, and that's what they did. They did what Sunny went through. She was caged and made to sing nonstop. The only time that she got to stop singing was when this king beast was asleep. No food, no water, just sing. She sung until she couldn't even sing, barely even talk. And I speak to that. I think that speaks to the fucking industry. These 360 deals, all of this crazy fuck shit that has people locked in and selling their soul. And I think it's psychological warfare, because at the end of the episode, Sunny's basically like, I don't want to sing. I don't want to be a singer no more. So at the end, she gives up on her dream. I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to continue the Gummy Bear Freestyle with the Gummy Bear Freestyle Part 4. This is Phoenix Bars, the Paradigm Killer Family. I hope you like the new format of how I'm going to break down a lot of these cartoons with the freestyle format. So get at me, let me know what's up. Peace.